effektiv das gegenwärtige Geldsystem seine Grenzen gezeigt hat, seine Krisenanfälligkeit in der Finanzkrise in Amerika, und ich trenne davon die Eurokrise ab.
Es ist nichts Neues, dass Großbritannien in großen Schwierigkeiten steckt, was die Verschuldung und die Wirtschaft angeht. Wen überrascht das? Seit wann ist das neu? Dass die ein AAA-Rating haben, ist eine reine Farce, genau wie das AAA-Rating der USA.
Das Geldsystem ist krank, hat Herr Schäffler gesagt. Sehen Sie das auch so? Das sehe ich voll und ganz so, dass das Geldsystem krank ist. Wenn immer mehr Geld gedruckt wird, wenn immer mehr Geld ausgegeben wird von den Staaten, dann wird das eine Reaktion haben, die jeder einzelne Bürger spürt am Schluss.
Dass ich doch glaube, dass wir in den nächsten 2 Jahren einen dicken Knall kriegen, vielleicht aber auch schon relativ bald. Also die Spannung steigt im System.
Also Sie denken auch, dass wir auf eine Wand zu rasen?
Ja, das denke ich. Wir rasen auf eine Wand zu.
The Iraqi regime possesses biological and chemical weapons.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Maybe under here. Nope, no weapons over there.
Little less than 1 year from today, you will go into the voting booth and you will select the next president of the United States of America.
I think elections are about the future. But how do you determine what will happen in the future? Well, you have to look to the record. You have to look to what we say in campaigns.
Egotism,
and what we have done during our
narcissism. Islamofascism is real.
Their goal is to unite the world under a single jihadist caliphate.
Use fear and falsehood.
My view is we had a double Guantanamo.
What do you talk about when you have nothing to say?
This is insane. Some of these people frighten me. They frighten me.
President Bush has talked about our staying in Iraq for 50 years.
Maybe 100.
The danger from Iran is grave.
Well, I'm not concerned about the voters.
It'll be a really nice fruitcake.
But I can't be president unless you choose me to be, and I hope you will.
Deficit financing, big government, more taxes, more bureaucracy, more regulations, more policing the world.
What are you guys talking about, you know?
Congressman Paul, yet another question about electability. Do you have any, sir? There's always the question as to whether or not you are, in fact, viable.
Congressman, how could it be that you knew this on the banking committee in 2003 and nobody else did until after the collapse?
Well, I would think the easiest explanation is Washington, D.C. is permeated by Keynesian economic thinking. Very few even know the name Austrian economics and understand the business cycle. I was concerned about the building of the bubble since 1971 when gold was delinked from the dollar. So since that time, the bubble has been gradually being inflated, but it got out of hand in the 1990s as well as after 2000. Bernanke taking interest rates down to 1%. To me, The biggest surprise was, although I was very concerned in 2003, I was concerned before that, I'm surprised it lasted to 2007. That's when the bubble really burst. But it was amazing how long it lasts. And to me, the more amazing thing right now is not only has the financial system collapsed, which is very, very bad and very dangerous, I believe that what we're moving toward now is the collapse of the dollar. And the collapse of a dollar, because it's the international reserve currency, I think is going to be much worse than what we have already witnessed.
Can you all believe this prediction in 2003?
Prophetic. Absolutely.
Talking to everybody on the banking committee, telling them, hey, we're in trouble. Let's not go this direction.
Right.
Or we're going to be in trouble. And then, you know...
war, but to declare war on 1.2 billion Muslims and say all Muslims are the same, this is dangerous talk. Yeah, there are some radicals, but they don't come here to kill us because we're free and prosperous. Do they go to Switzerland and Sweden? I mean, that's absurd. If you think that is the reason, we have no chance of winning this. They come here and they explicitly explain it to it. The CIA has explained it to us. It said they come here and they want to do us harm because we're bombing them. What is the whole world about the drone being in Iran? And we're begging and pleading, and how are we going to start a war to get this drone back? Why were we flying the drone over Iran? Why do we have to bomb so many countries? Why are we have 900 bases, 130 countries, and we're totally bankrupt? How are you going to rebuild the military when we have no money? How are we going to take care of the people? So I think this wild goal to have another war in the name of defense is the dangerous thing. The danger is really us overreacting, and we need a strong national defense, and we need to only go to war with a declaration of war and just carelessly flouting it and starting these wars so often.
And we have an IAEA report that just recently came out that said literally Iran is within just months of being able to obtain that weapon. Nothing could be more dangerous than the comments that we just heard.
All right, 30 seconds.
There is no UN report that said that. It's totally wrong on what you just said. That is not true. They produced information that led you to believe that, but they have no evidence. There's been no enrichment of these bombs.
If we agree with that, the United States people could be at risk of our national security.
So I'd like to finish. If she thinks we live in a dangerous world, she ought to think back when I was drafted in 1962 with the nuclear missiles in Cuba. And Kennedy calls Khrushchev and talks to him and talks him out of this, and we don't have a nuclear exchange. And you're trying to dramatize this, that we have to go and treat Iran like we've treated Iraq and kill 1 million Iraqis, and 8,000 some Americans have died since we've gone to war. You cannot solve these problems with war. You can solve the problems if we follow our Constitution, go to war, only when we declare the war, go in and win them and get them over with, instead of this endless fighting and this endless attitude that we have enemy all around the world. I am gaining recognition in the campaign, and it's a threat to a lot of people. It's a threat to the military-industrial complex. It's a threat to the bankers, the big corporations who get all the benefit. It's a threat to the people who preach that we have to be in the world and be in all these countries. So I think it's big banks, big money, big corporations, and the people who want to be the warmongers.